Hey, beautiful souls, it's your Brother Zen with another MOONday Monday, where we take time to look at all of the signs that the moon flows through during the week. You know, the moon, of course, every 28, 29 days goes through the entire zodiac. So every 2 to 3 days, we do go through a different sign. So we being a lot of water, I talk about this a lot, where whatever is going on with the moon does impact our emotions. It influences it. And so getting a forecast of what the little waves of emotions that are coming through our lives throughout the week helps us prepare. It's like checking the forecast for the weather and, finding out, is it going to be snowing out? Well, I'm not going to be walking around in a Speedo then. So it's good to know what is happening. Then we understand why other people are acting the way they are. And we're like, oh, okay, this isn't about me. This is about their emotions. So it just generally helps us throughout the week. So we're going to be stepping through all of that. And Venus is out of their shadow. So we'll talk about that as well. So stay tuned and we're going to get into it right now. All right, well, we roll into this week under the influence of the Taurus Moon. And if you want to find out more about that, check out last week's MOONday Monday. I have timestamps listed in the description box of the videos, so you can jump forward to any of the moons on any of the days. So if you want to know more about the Taurus, check that out, because we are in that until Tuesday on October 3rd. We're at 1:03 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We move into the Gemini Moon. So for those of you on the West Coast in the United States or the time zones that are earlier, you'll be experiencing that late on Monday evening on October 2nd. And that Gemini Moon, of course, is a mutable air sign, which means it moves around so quickly that when the moon goes into this energy, it can feel a bit more restless than usual. And you may find that you're suddenly in the mood for conversations, puzzles, riddles, and word games. We want at least two of everything. And that is so funny because my host, she is a Gemini Moon, and I told her about that, and it totally cracked us up because she does that. She'll buy two of things, and now she's like, no, I know why. And that helps us understand when we're under the influence of the moon, maybe we really are into 2-for-1 sales or something. But it's a great time for letter writing, phone calls, or short trips. Air sign is around communication, so it has a positive influence on sharing that type of energy with others, and short trips, not long trips. Long trips are more Sagittarius energy. Short trips are Gemini. So you'll find like the best shortcuts during this time too. Geminis are very intelligent, and we get to access that energy during that time, so we can get some ideas and shortcuts that we wouldn't have been able to find before, and we'll find them too when we'll need to take them, the shortcuts. So I like that, especially if you're on a short trip and you need a shortcut, you might just find it. So, but during this time, do watch for the tendency to become a bit scattered under this moon, because Gemini can be a split personality at times, right? Which is fun. I'm an Aquarian. We're the multiple personalities of the zodiac, so we think it's cute having two. And so we like that, going back and forth, this opportunity for doing things differently. So I love that for the Gemini moon. And then on Thursday, October 5th at 8:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the morning, we flow into the Cancer Moon. Now, the moon does rule over Cancer, so this is a very emotional time, right? The moon in this cardinal water sign is at her most nurturing. And the moon, with this energy, has these concerns that turn up around home and family, children, and even mothers. If you're a mother yourself, how you relate as a mother, or, motherly experiences, influences, even events with your own mother at the time. And it might be bringing up reflection time of how you felt you were mothered when you were younger, too. And we respond to all of this energy, of course, by likely expressing our emotions. And we can be sympathetic and more understanding towards others during this time, too. So you might find compassion sparked within your heart. And we often find ourselves in a little bit of a mood, maybe a little moody. And we might even want to, like where we didn't have these desires or this energy to want to care for other people, we suddenly might be outwardly focused, where we want to take care of someone, cook for someone, maybe even cuddle with a dear one. So during this time, feelings definitely run high, so it's important to watch out for being overly sensitive, overly dependent, or overly needy. And it's a great time to putter around your home. You know, the moon can be about home, too. You can have family over, friends over, and kind of just be a domestic goddess or god, and however you identify, and hang out around your home and do some good nesting. And we're in that Cancer Moon energy until Saturday, October 7th at 7:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when we move into the sign of Leo for the moon. Now, we talked about this before, where Leo Moon loves drama with a capital D, maybe even a capital R-A-M-A, depends on your planetary alignments. But there is very much a theatrical sign, and it's long been known for big entrances and its love of display and kind of a need for attention. And so we might have those types of desires or reactions really come during this time, or notice it in other people. And when the moon is in Leo, we're feeling a need for the recognition, for being applauded, and definitely being appreciated. So if you are feeling, I'm not being recognized and, I feel underappreciated, this is a time to go, okay, this might be my Leo energy. Let me wait on this, reacting to this. And then, because it may pass, and then it'll be like, okay, whoosh, because, of course, we could create some drama around, you don't appreciate me, right? We've all been there. We've been probably on both sides of it too, right? But it is this time here of excitement and pride and emotion. And it can turn into a melodrama in the blink of an eye. In a melodrama, you'll know you're in it if there's a victim, a villain, and or a hero. So we'll recognize that. And it's good just to be careful of overreacting or be excessively vain during this period and making it all about us. Taking steps we can to stay grounded and step back can help us with this energy. It also is a great time, though, to take in a show or star in one, be romantic, express our feelings for someone, but in like regal style, in higher style, in really expansive, appreciating ways. And I like this energy because even though we can, we always have lower vibrational and higher vibrational expression of every sign. And of course, the lower vibrational is make it all about me and creating a scene and being overly dramatic and all that. But at the higher vibration, we can use this energy. It's like Leo energy is like the strength card in the major arcana. It's connecting to our higher self, having the courage to step forward and do things that we wouldn't have had done before. Like if we have to get up in front of someone, maybe look and see when a Leo moon is and see, okay, this would be a better time because I'll have this inner roar that will come up that will make it easier to express ourselves. So I love this energy for the Leo moon. And an added fun extra for this week, too, is on Saturday, October 7th, Venus is out of its shadow. So if you haven't watched about the retrogrades in the past, a quick little skinny on how retrogrades work, and they're not evil. They're time for us for reflection. So as you'll see in this forecast, the next time Venus goes into retrograde is in January 28th of 2025 is when it goes into its pre-shadow. Venus, as I mentioned, goes retrograde around every 18 months. So we're just coming out of Venus, so we have another year and a half before it goes back in again. So, but whenever we start getting close to a retrograde, it goes into its pre-shadow, which we start to experience and feel the impacts of what it's going to feel like when we go into retrograde fully, which then we have dates that it's fully in retrograde where the degrees are moving backwards, where from our position on Earth, it looks like the planet is moving backward instead of forward. And then after it goes direct, we have a post-shadow period where it's still not fully in its full direct position where it's back up to speed. It's like if someone's going 100 miles an hour and they slow down in the pre-shadow to hit the retrograde, and then they're put it in reverse during the retrograde, and then when the post-shadow hits, they put it back into drive, but they don't go to 0 to 100. They start speeding back up again, and it takes time for them to get back up to the 100 miles per hour. So that's what we're going into right now, or we just had come out of with the Venus. We're finishing that post-shadow. So Venus is now going to be running full speed ahead. So it's a good time to express love and seek beauty, treat ourselves well, and communicate the love. Because when we're looking at Venus energy, I'll give you just a quick skinny on it. The energy of Venus is comforting. It's about our sustenance, our self-esteem, things like money, compliments, and our self-love, all those things that we use to declare our self-love and our self-esteem, our self-worth. It's how we experience and express these areas. And so when we go into a retrograde, we kind of look back at that and see what's going on with that. What's, in those areas of our life, what have we experienced? Have we expressed it? And then, we have all these events that show us and reflect to us how we feel and believe about all these things. And then we gather all that information during the post-shadow and decide if we're going to make any changes for the future. And then we have 18 months again till we go, around 18 months until we go back in to another retrograde that we can put that stuff into practice. We can take what we've learned and gleaned and improve and transform our lives around that too. So I really like that type of information, that comes in with that. Because now that it's going direct, some things that we do during this direct period is, we can make important plans around love and those items there and implement plans that require others to commit and follow through. Whereas during a retrograde, all the way the pre-shadow, pretty much I would say through the post-shadow, if you can avoid making plans or implementing plans that require others to commit, it's for your benefit, right? Also making major purchases, major beauty treatments and procedures, forming new relationships. When we're in a Venus retrograde, any new relationships formed won't fare for too long. But outside of that, in a retrograde, if we have like an old love that comes back into our life, that's perfect energy for that because it's bringing something from the past back forward. Also, it's a good time to initiate any legal proceedings during a Venus direct period, and any, of course, decisions in areas of love, beauty, design. Like if you're designing your home or anything, a lot of creativity and money. So I like all this energy that is now woohoo, we can start to make some movement forward. And when the next retrograde comes around in a couple years, well, in a year and a half, we'll get more into that. Or I might even have some little videos that talk about what each of the planets, what's best for them when we're direct and in retrograde. And so we can use that energy for our best. So that is all for the Venus out of shadow experience right now. All right, that's it for this week. Hopefully that information helps with the flow as you go throughout the week. And comment down below anything that you do around moon energy, anything that helps you with any particular sign, anything that helps you prepare or respond to any of that energies, anything that we talk about. And so as we go throughout this week, just know every second of every day of your life that you, yes, you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until next week, you guys hang in there. Much love to you. We'll see you soon.